Hi, parents. It's Miss Key. I just want to talk to you for a few minutes about something that's coming up in our courses, and that is the assessment. So, at the end of every module, which we've been all working on Module 1 in all of our classes, you're going to see at the bottom of Module 1, there's going to be a Module 1 review. And this could say and reflection, or it could say and discussion-based assessment, depending on what class you're in. So every class is going to, for Module 1, all the modules is going to end with a review and a reflection, or the Module 1 review and discussion-based assessment, and then the Module 1 assessment. So you can see that every module is different. So Module 1 in my math class just has a review and reflection, and then the assessment, where Module 2 has the discussion-based assessment, and then the assessment. So I'm going to talk to you about each one of those and what they mean, but you can look in your child's courses and see what they have at the end of Module 1 for each course. Just because they have one thing in one course doesn't mean they're going to have the same thing in all their courses. So for example, a lot of our kiddos in 2nd through 5th grade have a couple discussion-based assessments and then a couple just reflections. So be sure to look and see what your child has. So for a review and reflection, that means that your child is going to have a worksheet that looks something like this that they have to fill out. So they're going to do their online part, and then they're going to have a worksheet that they have to fill out where they answer questions about what they're most proud of, what's something they learned that they could share with a family member or friend, what's a question they still have about something that they learned, and then they have to draw a picture of how they can apply that to their life. And then after they do that, we're going to grade it on a rubric. What we're looking for is for them to answer their questions completely. We're looking for detailed drawings or complete sentences, depending on what they're asked to do. We're looking for them to give examples and make connections on what they've learned. And so we'll be grading it with this rubric. If they have a discussion-based assessment, so for example, like my Module 2 math has a discussion-based assessment in every grade. This is when we're going to schedule a time to meet with your child one-on-one. You can expect us to email you a couple days before they are scheduled for that on the calendar to set up a one-on-one meet with your child. We will send you a Google Meet link, and it will be a different meet link than we usually meet on for math because we don't want anybody interrupting your child's assessment time. So this discussion-based assessment is for a grade, and basically we're just talking with your child about the things that they learned in that module. We might have them work out some math problems. We might have them write some sentences for us. But a lot of times it's just talking. And we do grade this. So students are asked to fill out a paper that looks like this with after they do their discussion-based assessment, with their teacher's name, what date they had their discussion-based assessment, and then they have to describe in a couple sentences what they talked about with their teacher. And then after we do that DBA, which is what we call them, discussion-based assessments, or DBA, we are going to grade that DBA. So that's part of their grade. We're grading on if they answered their teacher's questions correctly and explain their answers. We're looking for them to give examples, making their own corrections if they mess up, and coming with questions about the content, and then also participating with us, being on time. All that is part of the discussion-based assessment and how we grade it. Once we grade either the reflection page or the discussion-based assessment, then their assessment will open up for them to do. So they kind of have two parts to their assessment. There's a few important things that we want you to know about the discussion-based assessment. We don't want your child to be stressed about this. This is just a time for us to talk to them about what they learned. We want them to use this time to talk to us about their concerns. And if they don't know something, that's okay. It's a great time for us to realize that so that we can kind of make a plan on what to do before they take the assessment. The biggest thing about the discussion-based assessment that we want parents to know is that we need the kids to do this work themselves. So we would prefer for kids to be in a room by themselves so that we can have a discussion, and so that they're not looking to their parents for help. We know that if parents in the room, sometimes if they're not sure about something, they'll look to their parent, and that's okay. That really is okay. But for discussion-based assessment, we really want to know if they don't know. We don't want them to give an assessment if they're not sure about the content. So We just want to make sure that these assessments are really and truly their own thinking and their thoughts and their work and not anybody else's. So that is very, very important for your discussion-based assessment, that we let the kiddos do their own work and that they're not influenced by their parents in any way. So if they're able to, it's a good idea just to put them in a room by themselves. But if not, that's okay too, as long as parents know that we can't have any assistance on that assessment. After they do that discussion-based assessment or their reflection, they're going to have their big assessment. And this is the same concept. We want this to be your child's work. We don't want this to be the parents' work. So we need the kids to do the assessment on their own. Now, it's okay if you need to read the assessment to your child. We understand that these assessments can be long and there's a lot of reading to it. We know a lot of the kids become tired and overwhelmed. It's okay to read the assessment to your child. We just want them to come up with their own answers. Even kindergarten all the way to 5th grade, we want their own answers. So as we get farther and closer to these discussion-based assessments, these reflections, and these big module assessments, we just want you to be looking for emails from us so that you know if you have a discussion-based assessment to schedule with your teacher. And then we also want you to know that these assessments are for us to know what your child needs, and so we need it to be their own work. So if you have any questions, please let us know. We would be happy to help you at any time.